Welcome back. So I'm going to show you all how to get to Mahalia Jackson's final resting place. I'm heading east on Airline Highway. You're going to go east and then you're going to pass a sign that says Ferris. Once you pass Ferris, you're going to make an immediate right into the entrance of the cemetery. You will see the Subaru Service Center on your left. Now, here's what I didn't know. So once you pull in, her gravesite is going to be to the left. Now, there is a little dirt road that will actually lead you right there as soon as you come in. You can actually see her final resting place from the highway or airline road itself. So what I ended up doing, because I didn't know that, I came right into the cemetery and I kept going straight. And I ended up going around this entire circle. So I went around the entire circle and I ended up right near the front of the cemetery again. So I continued around the corner and I ended up parking right in front of this car right here. And you're going to see a mausoleum to your left, and then you're going to see another one to your right. So in between those two mausoleums, you will see a grassy path right here. You're going to walk forward, and right behind that tree, you will see her final resting place. So, Mahalia Jackson was born on October 26, 1911, in New Orleans, Louisiana. She grew up in a deeply religious and disciplined household where faith shaped much of her early life. And she was only 5 years old when her mother, Charity Clark, passed away in 1916. And she was then sent to live and be raised by her aunt in New Orleans, surrounded by church, community, and a lot of music. And as a young girl, she was influenced by the blues singers of that time, but she made a personal decision to devote her voice to gospel music. And at the age of 16 years old, she moved to Chicago during a period known as the Great Migration, when millions of Black Americans left the rural South seeking opportunities in northern cities. In Chicago, she joined the Greater Salem Baptist Church Choir and began building what would become an extraordinary career. In the 1930s, she started recording, and although she was offered opportunities to sing secular music for higher pay, she chose to remain committed to gospel. In 1947, she released a song called Move On Up a Little Higher, which became a success, selling millions of copies and bringing gospel music to a wider audience. And from that point forward, she was widely recognized as the Queen of Gospel. She performed at the Carnegie Hall on October 1st, 1950, and she later appeared at the Newport Jazz Festival, bringing gospel music to spaces everywhere. And many people don't know this, but she also hosted her own 15-minute Sunday evening program on the CBS radio network beginning in 1954. So as I'm panning around her grave, you can see that it's made of like a white stone or granite, which is really pretty. And as I was standing there filming that, I thought about, when I was a kid, my mom used to always talk about the sounds of the trumpet, and she used to watch a movie called Imitation of Life. And in that movie, you can hear Mahalia Jackson's song, Trouble of the World. And her voice was so chilling that I would always think of the sounds of the trumpet, and I would equate that to the sound of a train when I was a kid. So as I was standing there having that thought, ironically, a train went by in that moment. So I thought it was very coincidental that happened. Mahalia Jackson also appeared on the Ed Sullivan Show, and you can see that appearance here on YouTube. And according to Essence magazine, she also owned and operated Mahalia's beauty salon and a flower shop in Chicago during the 1930s and 1940s. And during the civil rights movement, her voice became closely associated with calls for justice and equality, and she formed a close relationship with Dr. King and sang at the rallies and marches. And at his own request, she also sung at his funeral. Here she is, one of the greatest gospel singers ever, Mahalia Jackson. Real nice cross at the top. And so here's a little gate. The gate is open. Just wanted you all to see. Throughout her life, she quietly battled high blood pressure and heart disease. She was married twice, but she never had any children. And despite her personal and health challenges, she continued to sing and serve through her music. When she passed away in 1972, two funeral services were held, one in Chicago and one in New Orleans. And the one in Chicago, 6,000 people attended, with people like Aretha Franklin, Coretta Scott King, Sammy Davis Jr. was there, and even the Reverend Jesse Jackson himself, who also just recently passed away. That's how you know you're in the right place. You see the Chevrolet, you see the mausoleum right here to your left, and then to the right, her resting place. So you can park right here. You can see where I'm parked. You can park right here and up near the front. And like I said, the mausoleums are right here. And you're going to walk through this grass and you're going to head that way.